I'm R. Sucharita, Government Degree College, Khairatabad, Hyderabad, Department of English. A warm welcome to the students of BA, BSc, and BCom first year. So, we have done part 1 and part 2 of the lesson, that is A Visit of Charity, which is written by Eudora Welty. So, in part 1, we have done pre-reading activity about the author Eudora Welty and the glossary. And in the second part, we have done half of the lesson, that is up till not addressing anyone. So now we are going to do the third part of A Visit of Charity, which is written by Eudora Welty, part 3. You can see here on the slide. So I told you that Marian is the main character. So Marian is 14-year-old girl, and she is a campfire girl. And then she worked for an organization, and then she visits a visit of charity in order to earn points. So if she visits this charity home or the old aged home, she will be earning points. So that was her main intention. So we have seen half of the lesson, and now we are going to continue. So here, one came out last month to see us, said the first old woman. A sheep or a germ? Wondered Marian dreamily, holding on to the chair. Did not, cried the other old woman. Did so? Read to us out of the Bible, and we enjoyed it, screamed the first. Who enjoyed it? Said the woman in bed. Her mouth was unexpectedly small and sorrowful, like a pet's. We enjoyed it, insisted the other. You enjoyed it, I enjoyed it, we all enjoyed it. And Marian, without realizing that she had said a word. So here they were, the first old woman was giving the information here. What is the first old woman telling here? That last month a woman came to them to visit the old aged home, and that woman, what did she do? She visited these, that is the first old woman and the second old woman, now who are present in the room. So a sheep or a germ, wondered Marian dreamily, holding on to the chair. So who visited? And Marian was wondering, so who visited you all? Is it a sheep or a germ? Did not, cried the other old woman. No, no, says the other old woman, who is sleeping on the bed. Did so? Read to us out of the Bible, and we enjoyed it, screamed the first. Yes, yes, they came to visit us, and what did they do? They came and read the Bible. So you can see the slide of this. So this is the second old woman who is on the bed, and then this is the first old woman there in the charity home. So all these are just we are guessing them and we are imagining them that they are. So this is the first old woman who is sitting here, and this is the Bible. So they are telling that they have read verses from the Bible. So this information was given by the first old woman. And what is she telling? They have read to us out of the Bible, and we enjoyed it when they read from the Bible, screamed the first. That is, she is screaming. The first old woman, she is screaming, and she is telling that, yes, I remember very well. As they visited the old home, they read out the Bible, and not only reading, when they were reading the Bible, we enjoyed it. Who enjoyed it? Said the woman in the bed. So, this woman who was in the bed, I've shown you. See, this woman who was in the bed, she is telling that who enjoyed it. So, at that age, their memory will also be lost. Okay, so the woman who is in the bed, completely, she is very, very old. Her mouth was unexpectedly small and sorrowful, So the woman who was in the bed, her mouth was very small, and she looked very sorrowful, and she looked like a pet. So we enjoyed it, insisted the other. You enjoyed it, I enjoyed it. So the other woman, that is the first woman, she was telling that yes, when they were reading, when she was reading the Bible, we enjoyed it. And you also enjoyed it, and I also enjoyed it. So, like this, the first woman, she was insisting. The other, we all enjoyed it, she said, Marian. So, when both were something like screaming to each other, then what did Marian do? Marian told that, yes, yes, we all enjoyed it, without realizing that she had said a word, and she was not even realizing that this woman, that is Marian, is telling a word. So she was completely lost. Her senses were completely lost when she was looking at these ailing women who were in this old aged home. The first woman had just finished putting the potted plant high up on top of the wardrobe. So the first old woman, what is she doing? She is putting the potted plant very high, and high up on top of the wardrobe, where it could hardly be seen from below. So nobody can see it from below. The first old woman, the potted plant which was given by Marian, what did she do? She took up that potted plant and she kept high up on the wardrobe, where it could hardly be seen from below. So when you are sitting down, you cannot see that potted plant. So Marian wondered how she had ever succeeded in placing it there, how she could ever reached so high. So Marian was wondering, how could this lady manage to keep so high, and she is very old? How can she keep this, that is the potted plant, so high on the wardrobe like that? She was wondering. Marian was wondering how she could reach so high. So you mustn't pay any attention to old Addie, she now said to the little girl. She's ailing today. So, will you shut your mouth? Said the woman in bed. I'm not. So you mustn't pay any attention to that. Now this first woman, she was telling to the other old lady that you should not pay any attention towards that old Addie, as she is ailing today. So immediately the second woman who is in the bed, she could hear what this first woman was speaking against her. So she says that, will you shut your mouth? Said the woman in bed. I'm not. You're a story. So I'm not ailing. You are making up a story regarding me. And will you shut your mouth? Says the second old woman to the first old woman. So I can't stay but a minute. Really, I can't, said Marian suddenly. She looked down at the wet floor and thought that if she were sick in here, they would have to let her go. With much to do, the first old woman sat down in a rocking chair, still another piece of furniture, and began to rock. With the fingers of one hand, she touched a very dirty cameo pin on her chest. What do you do at school? She asked. I don't know, said Marian. She tried to think, but she couldn't. Oh, but the flowers are beautiful, the old woman whispered. She seemed to rock faster and faster. Marian did not see how anyone could rock so fast. Ugly, said the woman in bed. So, like this, what happened again? The first old woman, I can't stay but a minute, really, I can't, said Marian. So, when both these ladies, when they were talking against each other, so Marian, she says that I can't stay here, at least for a minute. I can't, really, I can't, says Marian suddenly. And then she looked at the wet floor. So, how was the floor? The floor was in a very dirty condition. It was a wet floor, and thought that if she were sick in here, they would have to let her go. And she thought that if she becomes sick, then they would have to let her go. So, with much to do, the first old woman sat down in a rocking chair. So, what is the first old woman doing? She sat in a rocking chair, and then still another piece of furniture, and then she began to rock. She was nicely sitting in the rocking chair, the first old woman, and she began to rock. So, with the fingers of one hand, she touched a very dirty cameo pin on her chest. So, what is this first woman, old woman, what is she doing? She took a cameo pin. I told you what is a cameo pin. It is a decorative pin which is used as a brooch, especially for weddings or parties. So she took out, and how is that cameo pen? It is very, very dirty. Sorry. So it is very dirty, and what did she do? She kept that cameo pen on her chest. What do you do at school? She asked. And she was sitting in that rocking chair, and she was rocking in the chair, and she took that cameo pen and she put that cameo pen on the chest. And now she is asking Marian, what do you do at school? She asked. I don't know, said Marian. So she tried to think, but she couldn't. So what was Marian's answer? Marian's answer was that I don't know. And then she tried to think to give an answer, but she couldn't. She was completely lost, and her brains worked very slow. Oh, but the flowers are beautiful, the old woman whispered. She seemed to rock faster and faster. Marian did not see how anyone could rock so fast. And this first woman who was sitting in the rocking chair, suddenly she told that the flowers, that is the potted plant flowers, they are very beautiful. Okay, oh, but the flowers are beautiful. The old woman, what did she do? She whispered, and she seemed to rock faster and faster. She was sitting in the same old chair, and she was rocking. And then, how she was rocking? She was rocking in a very fast manner. Faster and faster, she was rocking. Marian did not see how anyone could rock so fast. So, Marian, like that, she was unable to what think, and she was wondering how she is such an old woman, and how she is able to rock so fast. So ugly, said the woman in bed. So the woman in the bed, that is the second old woman who was in the bed, she was telling, and what is she commenting? Ugly. That is the flowers or the potted plant which was brought by Marian. She's commenting that they are ugly. The flowers are ugly, said the woman in bed. If we bring flowers, Marian began, then fell silent. She had almost said that if campfire girls brought flowers to the old lady's home, the visit would count one extra point. So now, Marian, if we bring flowers, she started the sentence in this manner. If we bring flowers, Marian began. Then she kept quiet because the thing is, if they bring flowers or apples, that is potted plants, or fruits like that, and if they read the Bible, they'll be earning extra points. So that is why Marian, she doesn't like to reveal all those secrets. That is earning points. The secret of earning points, she doesn't want to reveal. So Marian began, then fell silent. Then she kept quiet. She started the sentence, if we bring flowers. Marian began, and then she fell silent. She did not continue the sentence. She had almost said that if campfire girls brought flowers to the old lady's home, the visit would count one extra point. She had almost said that. So she almost she was meaning that if campfire girls, if they brought flowers to the old lady's home, then the visit it would count one extra point. And if they took a Bible with them on the bus and read it to the old ladies, it counted double. So I've shown you the picture of the Bible. Okay, so if they take the Bible and if they read the Bible, if they open the Bible and read the Bible to the old ladies, then the point will become double. So just bringing potted plant and bringing Bible also and reading to them, that will be counted as a double points they will be earning. But the old woman had not listened anyway. She was rocking and watching the other one. So the old woman, all this, she was not listening. And what is she doing? The first old lady, she was nicely sitting in the rocking chair and she was watching the other one, who watched back from the bed. Poor Addie is ailing. She has to take medicine, see, she said, pointing a horny finger at a row of bottles on the table and rocking so high that her black comfort shoes lifted off the floor like a little child's. I'm no more sick than you are, said the woman in bed. Oh, yes, you are. So here, poor Addie is ailing. This was the sentence spoken by the first lady, and she was pointing her horny finger. That is, her fingers are so bony. Okay, they are. You can't see any flesh on those fingers, and she was pointing that horny finger to this old lady, and she was commenting that she has to take medicine because she is a sick woman, and there are a row of bottles on the table. So like that she was telling about the second old lady. So all these details were given by the first lady. And what is this first lady doing? Again, she is nicely sitting on the rocking chair, and nicely she is rocking and rocking so faster. She is rocking that she rocking so high that her black comfort shoes. So she was wearing black comfort shoes, and what happened to those black comfort shoes? They were lifted off the floor like a little child's. So, like that, she was rocking very high so that her shoes were also lifted off to the floor. I am no more sick than you are. Now, these are the words of the second old lady. And what is the second old lady telling here? She is telling that I am no more sick than you are, said the woman in bed. I am not sick like you, she says. Oh, yes, you are, says again. Again, they are speaking against each other. Oh, yes, you are, she says. And then I just got more sense than you have. That's all, said the other old woman, nodding her head. I just got more sense than you have. That's all, said the other old woman. And she was nodding her head like that they were speaking against each other. That's only the contrary way she talks when you all come, said the first old lady. With sudden intimacy, she stopped the rocker with a neat pat of her feet and leaned toward Marian. Her hand reached over. It felt like a petunia leaf, clinging and just a little sticky. And here, that's only the contrary way she talks when you all, excuse me, when you all come, said the first old lady. So the first old lady, she was what she was doing here, she was complaining about the second old lady that she is always contrary, she is always in opposite way speaking, and not only that, she'll be talking whenever you visitors come to our old age home, she'll be speaking like that. With sudden intimacy, the first old lady, she was speaking to Marian, and then she stopped the rocker with a neat pat of her feet. Now, as she was sitting in the rocking chair and she was rocking, now suddenly she stopped. She stopped the rocker and with a neat pat of her feet and leaned toward Marian. She was leaning towards Marian and her hand reached over. It felt like a petunia leaf. And this is the description of the first lady's hand. And her hand was reached over to Marian. And how did Marian feel? She felt like a petunia leaf. I told you what is petunia leaf. What is petunia in your glossary? I hope you remember. It is a flower with white, purple, or red leaves. So clinging and just a little sticky. Her hands, the first old lady's hands, were also a little sticky. Will you hush? Will you hush? Cried the other one. Now, the other second lady, she was pointing out to the first lady and she was telling that, will you keep quiet? Will you hush? Will you hush? Cried the other one. So, Marian leaned back rigidly in her chair. So Marian was leaning back slowly in her chair. When I was a little girl like you, I went to school and all, said the old woman in the same intimate, menacing voice, not here, another town. So she was telling that when I was a little girl like you, Marian, she was leaning back rigidly in her chair. And she was telling that when I was a little girl like you, I went to school, and now this woman, the old woman, she was telling that when I was a little girl like Marian, like you, I went to school and all, said the old woman in the same intimating, menacing voice, not here, another town. So, like that, she was the first old lady. All this she was explaining to Marian. When I was a girl like you, I went to a school, and then with very intimacy she was speaking, and with a very menacing voice she was speaking that not in this town and in another town I was studying. Hush, said the second, that is the sick woman. The sick woman is the second old lady. You never went to school, you never came, and you never went. You never were anything, only here. You never were born, you don't know anything. Your head is empty, your heart and hands and your old black purse are all empty. You showed it to me, and yet you talk all the time until I think I'm losing my mind. Who are you? You are a stranger, a perfect stranger. Don't you know you are a stranger? Is it possible that they have actually done a thing like this to anyone? Then send them in a stranger to talk and rock and tell away her whole long rigmarole. Do they seriously suppose that I'll be able to keep it up day in, day out, night in, night out, living in the same room with a terrible old woman forever? So, like this, the second old woman, she was commenting about the first old woman. You never went to school, you never came, and you never went. You never were anything, and you were only here. So, like that, the second old woman, she completely lost her senses, and she says that you never were born, you don't know anything, your head is empty, your heart and your hands and your old black purse are all empty. You showed it to me. The second woman, she was complaining about the first old lady, and yet you talk all the time until I think I'm losing my mind, because you always talk and I'm losing my mind. Who are you? You are a stranger, and you are a perfect stranger. And don't you know you are a stranger? She says. Is it possible that they have actually done a thing like this to anyone? Send them in a stranger to talk and rock and tell away her whole long rigmarole. So I told you what is the meaning of a rigmarole. A rigmarole is nothing but it is a very long, rambling story is called as a rigmarole. Do they seriously suppose that I'll be able to keep it up day in, day out, night in, night out, living in the same room with a terrible old woman forever? So, like this, the second old lady, she was speaking about the first old lady. So, Marian saw the old woman's eyes grow bright and turned toward her. This old woman was looking at her with despair and calculation in her face. Her small lips suddenly dropped apart and exposed a half circle of false teeth with tan gums. Come here, I want to tell you something, she whispered. Come here. Marian was trembling, and her heart nearly stopped beating altogether for a moment. So, what is Marian doing? She saw that old woman's eyes. That is the second old woman's eyes. How are they? They are growing bright, and they were turning towards Marian. And this old woman, how she was looking at her, she was looking at her with despair, and there was a calculation in her face, and her small lips, they suddenly dropped apart, and because her mouth was very small and exposed a half circle of false teeth with tan gums, because they are very very old and they have false teeth, they don't have real teeth like us, and their gums are also tanned. So, like that, come here, I want to tell you something, she whispered, come here. And she was asking Marian to come near. I want to tell you, like that, she was whispering. The second old lady who is very, very sick. So, Marian was trembling. She was already, she lost her senses and she is in a panic state, and she is in such a situation that she is trembling, and her heart nearly stopped beating altogether for a moment. Why is this second old lady, why is she calling me like that? She was very much shivering state, or she was trembling, and her heart also nearly dropped beating, okay, for a moment. She was in such a panicked state. Now, Addie, said the first old woman, that's not polite. Do you know what's really the matter with old Addie today? She too looked at Marian. One of her eyelids dropped low. So now, Addie, said the first old woman, that's not polite. Do you know what's really the matter with old Addie today? She too looked at Marian, and she also looked at Marian. One of her eyelids, they were dropping low. Okay. So the child repeated stupidly, what's the matter with her? Again, Marian, she was repeating, what is the matter with her? Why her eyelids are dropping low like that? Why she's mad? Because it's her birthday, said the first old woman, beginning to rock again and giving a little crow as though she had answered her own riddle. So the first old woman, now she was giving answer as what is the matter with her. So she was telling that she's mad because it is her birthday. It is the second old woman's birthday. So that is why that second old woman, what is she, how is she behaving? She is behaving in a mad manner, said the first old woman. Begin to rock again. Again, this first old woman, she was sitting in the rocking chair, and she was giving a little crow. So I told you in the glossary what is the meaning of crow. Crow is not really a black bird here, but it is laughing or croaking in a proud way, in a proud manner. She was laughing at that second old woman, and she was giving a little crow as though she had answered her own riddle. So she was behaving in a different manner, the first old woman, as though she only put the question and she is only answering the riddle. So it is not, screamed the old woman in bed. It is not my birthday. No one knows when that is but myself, and will you please be quiet and say nothing more, or I'll go straight out of my mind. She turned her eyes towards Marian again, and presently she said, in the soft, foggy voice, when the worst comes to the worst, I ring this bell and the nurse comes. One of her hands was drawn out from under the patched counterpane, a thin little hand with enormous black freckles, with a finger which would not hold still. She pointed to a little bell on the table among the bottles. So now the second old woman, she was telling that it is not, no, no, it is not. She was screaming that the second old woman from the bed, no, no, it is not my birthday. No one knows except myself, she says. And she tells that, will you please be quiet and say nothing more. So these lines she was telling to the first old woman to keep quiet and to speak nothing more. And then, or I'll go straight out of my mind. So if you go on speak like this, then I'll be out of my mind, says the second old woman. She turned her eyes towards Marian again, and presently she said in a soft, foggy voice. So she turned her eyes and towards Marian, and presently she said in a soft, foggy voice, when the worst comes to the worst, I ring this bell. So when it comes to the worst, I ring this bell and the nurse will come. So that was the with foggy voice, the second woman she was telling to Marian. She turned her eyes towards Marian, and she was telling that when the worst comes to the worst, I'm going to ring this bell and the nurse will come and attend me. One of her hands, they were drawn out from under the patched counterpane. She was sleeping under that bedspread. So she kept her hands under that counterpane, that is the bedspread, a thin little hand with enormous black freckles. So when you observe the second old lady's hand, it was a little, very thin little hand, and the hand was, it was full of black freckles, enormous. That means so many large black freckles you can see on that woman's body, because they are completely old. Okay, their skin, when we observe, they have lot of freckles. So with a finger which would not hold still, she pointed to a little bell on the table among the bottles. So the second old lady, with her finger, now she is pointing to a little bell, and it is on the table among those bottles. How old are you, Marian? How old are you? Marian breathed. Now She could see the old woman in bed very closely and plainly and very abruptly from all sides as in dreams. She wondered about her. She wondered for a moment as though there was nothing else in the world to wonder about. It was the first time such a thing had happened to Marian. I won't tell. The old face on the pillow where Marian was bending over it slowly gathered and collapsed. Soft whimpers came out of the small open mouth. It was a sheep that she sounded like a little lamb. Marian's face drew very close. The yellow hair hung forward. She's crying. She turned a bright, burning face up to the first old woman. That's Addie for you, the old woman said spitefully. Marian jumped up and moved towards the door. For the second time, the claw almost touched her hair, but it was not quick enough. The little girl put her cap on. Well, it was a real visit, said the old woman, following Marian through the doorway and all the way out into the hall. Then from behind, she suddenly clutched the child with her sharp little fingers. Oh, little girl, have you a penny to spare for an old woman that's not got anything of her own? We don't have anything in the world, not a penny for candy, not a thing, little girl, just a nickel, a penny. Marian pulled violently against the old hands for a moment before she was free. So, here she wondered. So, how old are you? This was the question put by the second old woman, and Marian, she was breathing, and again she was very fearful. Now she could see the old woman in bed very closely and plainly. Now she went to that second old woman. Now she was very close to that old woman, and very abruptly from all sides as in dreams she was observing that second old lady. She wondered about her. She wondered for a moment as though there was nothing else in the world to wonder about. So when she was looking at that second old woman, she was wondering. She was wondering for a moment, and she thought that there was nothing to wonder about in this world. So it was the first time such a thing had happened to Marian. And I won't tell, she says. The old face on the pillow. So the second old woman's face was on the pillow where Marian was bending over it, slowly gathered and collapsed. And that woman who was on that, the second old lady, she gathered on that pillow and slowly she collapsed, and some soft whimpers they came out of her small open mouth. And it was a sheep that she sounded like a little lamb. She gave a sound. Marian's face drew very close. The yellow hair hung forward, and she was observing the second old lady very closely, and her yellow hair they were hanging forward. And she's crying. She turned a bright, burning face up to the first old woman. So she's crying. She turned a bright, burning face up to the first old woman. That's Addie for you, the old woman said spitefully. Marian jumped up, and now, seeing this scene of the second old lady, now Marian, she was in a more panic state. And then what did she do? She jumped up and she moved towards the door. That means she wants to run away, or she wants to go away from there. For the second time, now the claw almost touched her hair, but it was not quick enough. In the beginning, we see her fingers, they were touching her hair as though a man who reads signs like that. So, but here her fingers were not quick enough like the first. And the little girl, she put her cap. She wore a white cap and a red coat. I told you. I showed you the picture, yes, in the previous video. So, well, it was a real visit, said the old woman. So, the first old woman, she was telling that, yes, well, this is a real visit. And then following Marian through the doorway and all the way into the hall. And this first old woman, she was following Marian. As Marian came out of that room, that is those two old ladies' room. This first old lady, she was following Marian, and she went at the back of her to the hall too. Then from behind, she suddenly clutched the child with her sharp little fingers. Oh, little girl. Now, that first old lady, what is she doing? She was something like clutching the child. Okay, that is holding tightly, I told you in the glossary, clutch means. So she was clutching this Marian with her sharp little fingers. Oh, little girl, have you a penny to spare for an old woman? Do you have a penny? Penny means, do you have paisa or money to spare for me? Asked the first old lady for an old woman that's not got anything of her own. I don't have anything, just one penny is enough. Like that, the first old lady, she was begging Marian, we don't have anything in the world, not a penny for candy. So, if I want to have a candy in this world, we don't have anything. At least one penny we don't have, not a thing. Little girl, just a nickel, a penny. So she tells that, little girl, just give me a nickel or a penny. So Marian pulled violently against the old hands for a moment before she was free. So Marian, she was pulling violently. She was pulling violently, and she wants to get relieved from the hands of that old lady for a moment before she was free. So very violently, Marian, what did she do? She pulled her hands from that old lady. Then what did she do? She was running down the hall without looking behind her, without looking at the nurse. She was not looking at anybody who was reading Field and Stream at her desk. The nurse, after another triple motion to consult her wristwatch, asked automatically the question put to visitors in all institutions, won't you stay and have dinner with us? So the nurse, she was asking Marian, won't you stay and don't you have dinner with us? So Marian, she never replied. She pushed the heavy door and she opened into the cold air and she ran down the steps. However, she wanted to escape from this situation. And under the prickly shrub, she stooped and quickly, without being seen, retrieved a red apple she had hidden there. So while she was entering into this old lady's home, what did Marian do? She had an apple, and that apple, what did she do? She kept near the fence, that is, the prickly shrubs are there in the entrance. So, what did she do? She hid that red apple. This red apple I'm going to show you. So, this red apple, what did Marian do? She hid them in the prickly, hard shrubs. And then what did she do? She took that red apple where she had hidden, and her yellow hair under the white cap, her scarlet coat, her bare knees flashed in the sunlight as she ran to meet the big bus rocketing through the street. So the big bus was going through the street, and this is the description of Marian. As I told you already, that she is having that yellow long hair, and she put a white cap, and she put a red coat, and her knees were bare, and then In the sunlight, she was running to catch that big rocketing bus. So, waiting for me, she shouted, as though at an imperial command. The bus ground to a stop. So she was wait for me, and she was shouting, and she went towards the bus, as though at an imperial command. So I told you what is the meaning of imperial in the glossary. So imperial is something like arrogant or dominating way. What is she doing? She was shouting, and the bus ground to a stop. So they were listening to her shout, and the bus it stopped there, and then she jumped on and took a big bite out of the apple. Now she sat in the bus, and she took out the apple, and nicely she was biting big bites of that apple, and she was eating. So this was a visit by Marian to the charity home, and the experiences which she had, and how worst it was in the charity home, and how pathetic were the conditions of the old people in that charity home. Everything we have experienced. So most of the students, you have told me that you did not visit this house of charity or the old aged home or home for the aged or whatever it is of the elderly people. So we have drawn so many experiences of the elderly people in that old aged home. So as young or teenage to people like you ought to have a lot of patience, and you have to love the elderly people. You have to help them, and you have to interact them. You have to speak to them softly, and you have to help them in the matters of money or whatever they need, because their days are very less on this earth. So that is why we have to look after them as little children. So when we were very little children born to them, they looked after us in a very careful manner. So when they become very old, they are also like little children, and only the young people should take care about them. And it is not like Marian just to earn points when she entered into charity, but she has to give, that is, she has to show the love or the real requirement which they need. So with this we have completed a visit of charity. Stop, Jana.